Problems of social media engagement. Rich Vernadeau here from the Rich Vernadeau News Network. The problem of engagement on social media is an issue that I've addressed more than once, not only on Facebook, but on Minds and other platforms online as well. It's an issue for any content creator, of which I am. I have a large number of videos on YouTube, BitChute, Dailymotion, Metacafe, Real Video. I'm constantly striving to increase my views and my subscribers. In addition to Minds, I utilize Gab, Twitter, Google, Blogger, Tumblr, LinkedIn, all of these social media platforms in an attempt to increase my audience and my views. I noticed one time in my Twitter feed, it said your tweets earned 1,361 impressions over the last 24 hours from Twitter itself. Well, that's all well and good, but then when I would go back to my YouTube videos or my YouTube or BitChute videos, my views on those platforms would still be in the double digits on the majority of videos that I had recently promoted on these various social media sites such as Twitter. Once again, proving and establishing, for me at least, that the majority of them, there's just not any engagement. Even a 1,000 view boost on Minds or the 1,361 impressions on Twitter were not translating into engagement by the viewers. Now, I've been told by those who profess to know that even buying boosts on Facebook doesn't seem to improve things much, and that it's largely a waste of money on the part of the content creator. You can also buy boosts on Minds, of course. I understand, as someone else has pointed out to me, that you can't force or make your potential viewers click that button and watch the video. But I do see this as an overall systemic problem that pervades all of social media. I do understand that content creators can and do use various ploys and gimmicks to attempt to increase engagement. I know there's various things you can do to try to engage your audience. I do understand that smaller content creators do not always get the exposure or search ranking on a place like YouTube that the big boys get. In other words, the really big guys like Logan Paul and some of the legacy media type, CNN, Fox, whatever, they buy exposure and they get a lot of additional exposure in the search algorithms on a place like YouTube. So, the deck is stacked against the small content creator. I do see this as an overall issue that content creators need to address. There's little, if any, engagement on the part of so-called social media audiences of any depth. It's all surface, superficial.
This has been an exclusive Darknet TV interview with the Murgatroyd serial killer,
and if you look at some of the most highest rated YouTube videos in terms of the number of views, when you look at the actual watch time, those who do click maybe watch 1/4 to 1/2 of a video. Seems like the longer the video is, the less time they spend watching it. One of the things I've experienced on Facebook, for example, I belong to a number of groups, many of which have thousands of members. I can post a really good video that's current and relevant that should get a lot of views, and I'll get maybe 20, 30 views, which leads me, it leads me to wonder whether YouTube may be engaging in some
This
kind
has
of
been an
throttling.
exclusive Darknet TV interview with the Murgatroyd serial killer, brought to you from an undisclosed location
that I've come up with. I have to confess, I'm addicted to content creation. I love creating videos and uploading them to YouTube, but I am somewhat disappointed with my current level of viewers. I'm never going to switch hobbies, but I agree with keep your day job. Like some guys I knew who used to rent ballrooms at the Holiday Inn and put on baseball card shows back when that was all the rage. They told me that they always made a lot more money renting the tables out to dealers than any of the dealers did who showed up selling stuff there at the show. The money in that gig back then was in putting on the shows. Well, right now, the money on the internet is in hosting a site and charging others to post their content to it. The actual promotional value anyone posting will get out of it is dubious. In order to drive engagement from places like social media, people should already know your content and want to watch it, said A.D. Martial in a Facebook group. And that's a very good quote. But what that basically means is that social media isn't particularly useful for launching a product or for generating new first-time viewers. It's apparently much more successful at engaging prior fans who have encountered the material being promoted elsewhere. This means social media is still subordinate and secondary to so-called established media, although some people I have seen, heard, read seem to indicate that this is shifting with the Generation Z demographic. I do think there's a lot more people that are getting their news and doing most of their video watching on places like YouTube and on various online sites, so I can see the shift occurring. I had not mentally approached this from the point of view that something had to already be a hit, so to speak, in the movies, on TV, or even on YouTube before you will get real tangible engagement response through social media. But that does appear to be the case, at least at this point in time. This means social media still is not a gateway or entry-level promotional device. However, it's cheap and or free, but it is a secondary platform to remind people of what they are already familiar with.